Hi, my name is Dr. Leonor Murciano with Nourishing Women, and we're here today because I want to show you how to do the Moxabustion at home on the Chang vessel. So the first thing that we're going to do with the Moxa stick is we're going to light it up, and I like to use a candle, as you can see, because it helps to light it evenly, and it also, because it takes a little bit long to light up, it ensures that you don't burn yourself with a lighter. So you stick the end of the Moxa stick on the flame, and I turn it around, usually slowly, so that all sides are evenly lit up. Secondly, you'll need a canister for the Moxa ashes. And now Moxa is actually a compressed herb. This one that we use here at the center and that I recommend that patients use at home is actually smokeless. It is a compressed herb that's used to heat up different points on the physical body. And so with the Moxa, it will never touch the skin, and it can be done directly above the physical body on the different points, about 1/2 inch to 1 inch, maybe even 1.5 inches. So we're going to work on the lower abdominal area. This area is where we work when we're working with fertility or working with any issues in the reproductive system. It's one of the most common areas. We also work on the back area, but for today we're going to do the Chang vessel on the front. So once your Moxa stick is lit up evenly, sometimes you start to see the ashes form very quickly. You can tap on it gently, and then we're going to do the first point, which is about 2 fingers width below the umbilicus, below your belly button, about 2 fingers. And we're going to heat up this area until it is slightly pink. So once it gets a little bit warm, you can stop and clear the ashes and then come back. Usually it's about 2, 3, or 4 times before that area is sufficiently pink. If it gets too hot, then you can stop before then. You don't have to have it get too hot. It's just to warm up the area. And of course you can have somebody else do this to you. So this point is CV6 on the conception vessel, and this is a very common point used in reproductive system and on the Chang vessel. It's a very important point as well. And so now you start to see that that area is getting pink, and once it's pink, or once you feel like you can't really tolerate much heat, then you can move on to the next point. So I'm not sure if that's showing in the camera, but that area is already pink, so it's had sufficient heat. And then I'm going to move to the next point, which is again about 2 or 3 fingers down. And you don't have to worry about being exact, because these points have big areas that they're related to. So if you're in that area, your treatment will be effective. Sometimes I have patients Moxa this whole line in the center, but for right now we're going to show you just the main points of the Chang vessel that we recommend for Moxabustion, for fertility, and for the reproductive system. So the second point, I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm going to wait about 30 to 60 seconds, sometimes 90 seconds, and you will start to feel the warmth. Of course, for our model today, I am gauging when it would feel warm. And then we tap and we come back. So for the patients doing it at home, once it starts to feel warm, then you would take it off and then come back and see if you can take a little bit more heat. And so see, now you see this area turning pink, and actually turned pink faster than the above area, which is fine. That means it's pretty much complete. And then we can continue to, on that straight line right underneath the umbilicus, go into the point right above the pubic bone, which I'm not going to do, but you can continue to do this at home. Right above the pubic bone, you can do that point as well. And I keep clearing the ashes because I don't want the ashes to fall on the patient. Then the next point, we're going to come to the hip line, or in the pelvic bone, and we're going to come down, and there's an indentation that stops about 3 fingers from the center over, right above the hip bone on the front. There's an indentation. So in that area, we're going to do the moxa. Now again, you don't have to worry about it not being exact. It's still effective if you're in the area. There's a couple of points there. There's stomach 29 and there's stomach 30. 30 is a little bit lower. So for camera purposes, I'm doing stomach 29. And you can feel where it feels best on your body. So tune in when you're doing this, and if you feel you want a little bit more heat, you can do the point right next to it, you can do the area next to it. So you just kind of feel and tune in. Okay, so that area is getting pink, and then I'm going to come to the other side and move right in. This is the bilateral. So on this side, it's a little further than the 3 fingers. It's about 4 fingers on the right side. And that's okay, that happens too. Sometimes it's not exactly even. And this point is right over, if not close to, the ovaries. All of these points are very effective points. Now the Moxabustion is used, as I mentioned, in fertility cases, even patients doing IVF or IUIs. We use it a lot with those patients. It helps the blood flow in the uterus. It helps the lining. It helps the energy as well. It helps to bring in and move the energy. So if any stagnation is there of energy or blood, it gets moved out. So it's also very effective for people that have, women that have pain with their menses, dysmenorrhea, or issues with blood or not enough blood with their menses. So it really helps in many, many conditions. Some of the syndromes of what in Chinese medicine we call cold uterus, it's also very helpful. Okay, so after those points are completed, then we're going to come back up to the umbilicus, and to the side we're going to move about an inch over on each side. That's our kidney 16 point. We're going to end with that point. So again, we're going to hold it about 1/2 inch to 1 inch away from the skin and warm up that area. And we do it again. And sometimes there is a little bit of smoke coming from our smokeless moxa. It's not completely smokeless. It's best to do it in a room that's ventilated a little bit, but it's not awful. And then we move to the other side. Again, you will move once it's either pink or it's very warm and hot. So once the area becomes pink, you know to move on to the other area, or once it becomes too hot to tolerate, we can move on to the other point. Usually around 2, 3, or 4 passes. Okay, so we have completed our moxa for today, and we'd love for you to visit our website at nourishingwomen.com if you have any other questions. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day.